H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.
No answers?
Jairam, I just stepped out. What is the question?
The question is, I've got a compile time error here. Okay. So I want to figure out what is the problem. So I have just given you the structure here. So your Reliance Oil employee is extending your Reliance employee, and Reliance employee is basically extending your jumpable here. Okay. And I have not implemented the jump behavior in my Reliance employee class. Okay. And what should I do in order to make my code compile free? Okay, I'm just going.
Avast virus database has been updated.
I'm just giving 1 minute to you guys. Okay, so I'm getting type implements jumpable. No, I already my Reliance employee is already implementing my jumpable here, right? What happens basically? It's you still have the same issue here out here. Okay, all right. So yeah, so I'm getting a couple of correct answers here. So it says that make this class as abstract. So that is very very well. I can do that in order to make my code compile free. Okay, all right. Now I have all these behaviors right now, and everything is fine, well and good. So I have all dealt with all my hierarchy, and even I have added a new feature into the which employee into my, where is that? Okay, so I have added all the by default all the features into the subclasses out here. Okay, now what next? I can represent my Reliance employee, okay, all the Reliance employee as a jumpable also, as an employee also right now. Okay, see the concern out here. Right now, as your Reliance employee is extending an employee, as a Reliance employee is has even implemented a jumpable. Okay, so and in this case I can represent my Reliance employee as an employee as well as a jumpable. Okay, the same way what I did it in the client program. If you see in the previous example, I can represent my Reliance clothing employee as a Reliance clothing employee reference, or as a Reliance employee reference also, as a employee reference also, because they are in a single hierarchy. Okay, the same thing goes for your Reliance Oil employee, okay, or a Reliance clothing employee also. Okay, if I just say here that jumpable, okay, and I'm specifically talking about a jumpable behavior, I say jumpable jump equals to new Reliance clothing and import this, right? Now when I talk about jumpable jump equals to new Reliance clothing employee, copy this, paste it here, dot, what all things you're getting it here. Apart from having your object class methods, you are only getting only one method, that is your jump behavior. Okay, now usually it is always a good practice coding standard that always whenever you want to invoke any of the methods of a particular class, always deal with the interfaces. Okay, do not let the users to invoke your methods with the help of the reference of your subclasses. Okay, never try to give something like this. Never try to use it in this way also. Okay, so it's a good standard to use, always using your interfaces. All right, now here as you know, this is a kind of a polymorphism. Now what I can do, I can even use the same jumpable in a different hierarchy also. Now when I say as an employee, I cannot use this employee for fishes, right? Or let's say if a dolphin fish who's not an employee, he doesn't get paid for anything, right? So I cannot use this employee hierarchy for that particular cause. But what I can do, when I have an interface out here, I can plug in this interface to any kind of hierarchy. Okay, because I want to give an additional feature to a particular object, saying that okay, this particular object has the capability to jump also. Okay, does it make sense out here? Because as you know, in Java you cannot do multiple inheritance. It is only possible with the help of an interface here. Okay, it's very important to understand, because in the complete world of Java, you'll be coming across a lot of interfaces, a lot of abstractions and whatnot. Okay, and any of the methods you define here, let's say, variables int I equals to 10, right? Now, what am I going to do? I'll copy this and go back to my company to hire and just say sysout jumpable dot I can still access this. Okay, so everything by default is a public static. All right, so any variable.
Can you repeat the concept? Like, let's not get into those methods or anything. Just concept. Can you rephrase it?
Okay. So when you talk about interfaces, it's something like one interface could be used for multiple class of action. Okay. Now the same thing, if I just give you a small layman example, which I have already told you in the previous sessions, with the help of your nose, what you do whenever you smell anything good, you say, wow, it is a good thing. I mean, whenever you smell something pungent, your behavior changes. So with the help of the same nose, you can detect two different things, right? The same thing happens here with the help of your jumpable here. This jumpable could be used on a Reliance clothing. This jumpable could be used for any class of action. Okay, when I talk about any class of action, when I say, let's say I haven't created a fish class, I'm saying jumpable jumping equals to new of fish. Okay, because I know that whenever I create in this way, fish has got a jumping behavior also. The same interfaces I can use on a fish, the same interface I'm using on a employee as well. So it is basically a kind of a contract between the classes, saying that whenever you use your jumpable as an interface or runnable as an interface, in Java we have got a class known as runnable. I'll just show you that. Okay, so java.lang.runnable. So it is a kind of an interface, okay, wherein you're saying it has got a particular behavior in it. Okay, so when you say it is a runnable, that means any class could be runnable, any object could be runnable. Okay, so there are a lot of other interfaces which we will see one by one in the upcoming classes. Is it somewhat clear with the concepts?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand this polymorphism over here.
Mm-hmm.
That when you cast a variable to a particular interface while creating, and you can access the members of only that class or interface, right?
Right.
But suppose here
Mm-hmm.
we are casting reliable clothing employee as jump,
Mm-hmm.
so you can access only the jump behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But if you cast it as reliable clothing employee itself,
Mm-hmm.
so you can access all the members of all the interfaces classes it implements.
Yes, it does. Right.
Okay. I want to.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So What if I do something like this? Now what did I do here? What am I doing here? Cannot convert your...
Casting it.
Yes, I'm basically casting this out here. Okay, I'm casting it to, I'm still getting convert void from void. Okay, this is your void. So, okay. So let me just push this out here. Okay, so on this employee, you can basically say emp dot whatever the thing you want. Okay. Now here again, you're kind of doing a casting out here. You already have a reference to it because see, when you talk about MS Paint, so you have an object out here which has been created and you're having just a reference out here with the help of your jump. And this is your reference, and you know that with the help of the jump reference, you can only invoke the specific method which are present in your jump. Still, if you want to have an option, you can cast this to a particular type. That's what I have done it here, to a particular type here, and from that I can still invoke it. Okay, so this is, I mean, you have different options. Still, you want to typecast it to a particular type, you can still do it. Okay, all right. So my next concern here, I was trying to show you something here. When I say show employee details, what am I going to do here is I'm going to say, okay, Reliance employee, jumpable, go here, Reliance employee. Okay, I'm going to copy this class and push it here as a parameter. Okay, so what did I do here? I created a method, and in that method I basically have passed the Reliance employee. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm just going to say, okay, let me, instead of Reliance employee, I can even pass the jumpable out here. Okay, I'll just say show jump behavior. All right, now once I have created the method show jump behavior, and I'm only passing it jumpable as an interface. So what are the things I can pass on to your show jump behavior? So let me make this as static. I don't have to create an instance of this particular class. Okay, so copy this. I will use it here inside the main method, and I am going to invoke this by passing something, right? I can, okay, and I can pass something like null also. Okay, now here when I pass null, as you know, when we say something like string, okay, okay, so when I say string name out here, and I want to say public void print name, and in this name, if I simply say sys out and type in name, okay, and in this, if I just create an instance of my company to hire guys, company equals to new of so and so. Okay, now if I say company dot print name, so what am I going to get here? If I'm not initializing this value, this object, as I said, everything is object in Java. Okay, here when I talk about company to hire, this is also an object. The same way there is some predefined classes string which we are going to see down the line. Okay, so if I just right click run as Java application, I'm going to get something like as null out here. Why? Because I have not initialized anything. If you try to use int I right now, it is going to give me a value of 0. If I use a object without initializing it, I'm going to get a value of null. Okay, now null is a kind of it's a keyword in Java as well. You cannot use null in any of the places. Now here I know that when I say show jump behavior, I have to pass something out here. Even I can say null also, it doesn't matter at all. Okay. Now if I say Reliance employee, so what are methods I can invoke? Only the jump behavior dot jump behavior. That's all I can do it. Okay. Now let me comment out these things for now. Comment this. I don't want to invoke any of the existing methods which I have implemented in the respective classes. Okay. Now when I invoke this, what basically happens? So I right click run as Java application, right? I basically get a null pointer exception because when I come to your when I invoke the show jump behavior, I'm passing null. So ultimately this is nothing but your null. So you cannot basically invoke any of the method on a null reference. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You cannot invoke any of the methods on a null reference. So what I can do, I can basically come here and say if Reliance employee not equals to null, okay, then only do this functionality. All right. So right click run as Java application. I'm good right now, but ultimately a jump behavior is not getting invoked. Now, what I can do right now, as whenever I invoke my show jump behavior, I have to only pass a type of jumpable interface. Okay. So what if I pass this to show jump behavior? We should not use interface when you can use abstract. Is abstract not enough when no methods are implemented? Okay, let me rephrase. No, there's a question from Lydia. Reliance employee is an abstract class. How can you create a new object? I did not create a new object of your Reliance employee. I just created for the subclasses. Okay, so why should one use interfaces when you can use abstract? Okay, good question. Is abstract not enough when no methods are implemented? Okay, so coming on to your question, as I told you, you're asking abstract is enough. Yes, abstract is enough, but when you talk about abstract, you always talk about a particular hierarchy. Okay, you do not talk anything apart from that. Okay, but here as a Reliance employee, I'm going to give an additional functionality to this Reliance employee that they can jump. Okay, I can even say, let's say I have one more interface. Okay, so I'm just going to say right click new interface, and I'm just going to say here singable. So basically they can sing also. Okay, so in this case I'm just going to say void sing rock. Okay. So I say that whenever any of the employee, I want to add some particular behavior for a particular employee. Now I know that singable in the sense the oil employees, they always are very much busy and they don't even have time. But the person who is actually selling clothes, they have got a lot of time, and if they don't sing, the customers won't come to them. The customers won't feel relaxed, they won't feel happy, they won't feel jolly as well. So it is bound for a particular Reliance clothing employee to have a singable behavior at all completely. Okay, so what I do, being a Reliance clothing employee, he is extending a Reliance employee. As a result, he is extending jumpable, no doubt, because all the Reliance employees, they can jump. Apart from that, I want to add a behavior, singing behavior to a clothing employee. So what I can do, I can just say, okay, I can basically say that to the clothing employee, say that implements singable. Okay, so just import this, right? Now when I say this, I have to definitely implement the unimplemented method. That's what I have added the sing rock here, right? Now I cannot add this particular singable to a particular hierarchy. Why should I do that? Because employee will never there are a couple of employees who can sing, there are employees who cannot sing. Okay, but I want to give a specific behavior for a particular kind of object here. Okay, so I hope this answers your question out here. Right, so let's move on. Okay, so coming back where I was, company to hire. Alright, so here in this case, what I can do, if I want to pass this employee here, because I want to pass something out to the show jump behavior, right? So pass this, right click, run as Java application. Yeah, so I'm good out here. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll come here and in your Reliance Clothing employee, I will jump behavior. I'll just add something out here. Sys out. I know jumping as a clothing guy. Right? So right click, run as. Okay, let me even comment this out. Right click, run as Java application. Okay, I know jumping as a clothing guy as well, right? Now here I can pass my jumpable also. If I can copy this and pass this here, right click, run as Java application. The same thing goes out here for the other folks also. Right? So if I'm having a particular type here, I can pass any of the classes. Now if I say oil employee, now if you say employee is not even implementing anything, what if I do it here? If I copy this out here and paste it here, right? What it is giving, it is giving me a compile time error. Why? Because your employee is not at all implementing your jumpable interface at all. Okay, so for that reason, the reference what you're passing is important. That reference should be of the type jumpable or any of the subclasses which have implemented the jumpable interface. Okay, so the bottom line, as I said, with the help of your interfaces, you can use the same interface for different class of actions. And during runtime, if you use your interface in this way and invoke the methods, during runtime, as you know, we spoke about polymorphism. It is going to take care of invoking a particular method of a particular kind. Okay. Any questions? Any concerns?
Jera? Interface, you can implement the static methods.
Interface implementing static methods?
I mean, not implement, interface having static methods.
So you're saying public static void call me.
Yeah, jumpable behavior.
See that?
Is
The method.
jumpable or something like that.
No, come again.
Maybe a method that checks whether the object implements jumpable.
No, first of all, it is not even possible to make any of the any of your methods as static. Okay, because this is not in a class hierarchy at all.
I see.
Okay, so when you say class on that particular class itself, you can make something as static so that you can directly access it.
I see.
Okay, so static, no. Okay, and all right, so coming on to this, let's say this is your index. Continue, come here and come to your experience guy, and I just want to say okay. Now let's see one thing here, the final field jumpable in .index cannot be assigned anything, and you know that in Java if you make anything as final you cannot change that. Correct? The same thing goes here. As you see, I have not even given anything as final. The way I have, even though if I do not make it as an abstract, okay. Public abstract, it is by default is a public and abstract, okay. Now the same thing, if you make any of the variables, if you create any of the variables in an app, in an interface, it is by default a final variable. Okay, and what if I make this private? Okay, what if I make this final? Okay, now coming on to private, when you say public, it makes some sense, because when you talk about an interface, it is meant to be implemented, right? So there is no point in making a particular interface as private at all. First of all, it is going to give me a compile time error at all. Okay, so this is completely ruled out. You cannot make anything as private at all. Okay, and yeah, what is this? Save this. Okay, so it is out of the package. So let me make this as public right now. Okay, and here the index you cannot reassign a particular variable which you have already defined in your interfaces. Okay, so that is also ruled out. Can an interface implement another interface or abstract classes? Yeah, it's a good question. One interface, first of all, it cannot extend any abstract class. Like for example, can a abstract class extend another abstract class? We'll see that. So here, what did I do? I have an employee, and yeah, we have already seen that an employee and as well as a Reliance employee. An abstract class is extending one more abstract class here, right? Now, the jumpable the singable which I have added to the Reliance employee, what I want is all the Reliance employees should sing. So what I can do is, instead of having, what is this? Okay, so instead of having the Reliance employee implementing a singable, what I can do, let me comment this out for now. I can add the same implements to your Reliance employee. So how do I do that? A Reliance employee extends employee implements jumpable, comma, singable also. Okay, so one class can extend only one class and implement multiple interfaces. Okay, so right now, Reliance employee, being a Reliance employee, he can even jump, he can even sing. I can create a reference of a Reliance employee with the help of your interface jumpable. Even I can create a reference with the help of your singable also. Okay, and let's say jump. Where is my jump? Okay, jump. And I may have one more feature. Okay, so singable. Singable have got a sing rock. Okay, now let me make this more specific and make this as sing. Okay, now as a singer, singable, he can sing. Okay, now if you have multiple talents, as a singer you can sing rock. Okay, as well as you can sing good music also. So I'll say here sing good music. Okay, so I'm saying that as a singable he can sing good music, but there are different variations of your singers also, right? So what I can do is I'm just going to say new interface, and I'm just going to say here rock singer. Okay, now being a rock singer, right, I can void sing rock, as well as I can sing good music also, correct? But if you see here, when we talk about a particular hierarchy, why should this be here? It's already present somewhere in your singable, right? So what I can do, remove this and say extends, where is that? SINGABLE. Okay, so when I say rock singer extends singable, that means it is by default narrating the properties or the methods which is present in your sing good music. Now a person who is going to extend singable, he should only implement your sing good music, but the person who is going to implement your rock singer, let's say I'm going to create a IT employee who is always, let's say he's also good at singing here. So coming on to IT employee, this Java IT employee is going to extend IT employee as well as implements rock singer. Okay, so I have implemented the package here, and if you see add unimplemented methods, automatically you have to implement your sing good music as well as your sing rock music, because I know that a person who sings a rock music, he has a capability to sing good music also. Okay, does it make sense out here? So as an interface, one interface can even extend. Where is that? Yeah, one interface can extend your another interface also. But I thought interface only implements, not extend. Yeah, I mean, interface will be used. Okay, there's a question here, but I thought interfaces only implements, not extends. See, when you talk about a hierarchy, as I've told you one hierarchy here, when you say singable and you say classic music also extends your singable, right? So a classical person do not know anything about rock music at all. So I will have this kind of hierarchy also. So when you talk about a class has its own hierarchy. When you talk about interfaces, you can put interface also in a kind of hierarchy. Okay, so there is no restrictions out here, but it does make sense out here, right? Because when I talk about a classical singer, I will not extend that classical singer to a rock singer, because rock singer has got its own functionality and a classical singer will be having its own functionality. Apart from that, sing some good music as well. Okay, all right, great. Yeah, so finally I understood. Thank you. All right, yeah, I'm going to close this session right now, and I would request you guys to at least practice this and come up with some questions out, and at least do one thing as an assignment. I would request you guys to come up with at least a hierarchy wherein let's say a living being and a non-living being having some common features, okay, as a hierarchy, and then add some extra features in them by having an interface also. So please work out on this example, and we can have a discussions out tomorrow. We can have a room for at least discussion for 15 minutes if you want. Okay, so I would request everyone to at least practice this because it's very important, and come up with some queries and concerns.
Jairam, very quick question.
Yep.
So when we make changes to whatever we are, the pointing to that site that you are giving us, and if I make any changes, like I made some changes yesterday and then I saved it, but when I again update it or commit it, it is going to take your changes, right?
It does.
It will
yes.
overwrite my.
It does.
How can I
okay.
keep my version?
Do one thing. I mean, check out my things only for the sake of understanding things, and have your own version of it. Okay, and you can basically copy paste the existing. You can take out my existing code, copy paste in your different workspace, create a new workspace out here. Let's say student practice. Copy the same stuff out here and only for a practice. Okay. So this will this will be as your reference, but this will be only for your practice.
Thanks.
Okay. And let's say, for example, I think com to com, right click, compare with each other. So you can still compare. Let's say, for example, okay. So let me copy the entire source out here and paste it here. Okay. So right now both are in same replica. One second. Okay, so I'm going to delete this. Okay, so right now, as of now, both are of the same replica, right? Because I just copied the source from your core Java to the student practice out here. So what I can do if yeah. So yeah, give me a sec, Florence. I'll answer your question, or I think Adil has already answered your question. Okay, so what I can do, I can let's say you are syncing this at this point of time. Let me first check in all these files. Team commit, yes. Okay, I'm going to check in with some compile time errors. Core Java, this update, commit and push. Okay, so I pushed all the code right now. Now, as of now, everything is up. I mean, everything is a replica right now. If I just click on this and click on this, right click, and say compare with each other. So I will. Okay, there is one difference out here, somewhere here. Okay, let me go to the student practice. Okay, let me go to the student practice. Give me a sec, guys. Copy this and paste it here. Copy this, paste it out here. Yes to all. Okay, so let me do a comparison right now. Right click, compare with each other. So there it says there is no difference between the selected input and stuff and all. Okay, now let's say I make some changes in your RockSinger, and which I'm going to check in right now. Okay, so in the RockSinger I've added some comments out here. This is just a comment. Okay, now I'm going to check in this file which you are going to take the latest in your core Java workspace. So what you can do, you can basically say click on source and click on source of both the sources, right click, compare with each other. So here you can see which all files you have got differences. Click on that and you can see these things out here. Okay, on the left hand side will be your core Java, right hand side will be your student practice. Okay, so here what I can do is I can basically click on this section and click on this particular. So it says copy all from left to right. You can do this. Okay, so right now both my copies are of same version. So you can do it in this way as well. So you can make a copy and make sure which all things you have changed, which all things are coming in as well.
I have not downloaded. Where do I download it from?
I would request, there's already a session. I've already told this multiple times. You can just go with the session. Probably in the previous session I've already told that and how to check out the code from a GIT version, or you can just, I think, refer your second or third video wherein I've listed out those things. Okay.
Actually, the video till 5, the recorded videos, the text inside is not quite visible. Like when I try to open it in 720 dp, it's like 240 dp. So inside, like it's only after I think 7, the video recording 7, it is good enough to understand. So if after 10 video, there's after 10 sessions, there is no recording. So
right, I have already raised this concern to those folks. Probably by they'll be resolving the issue. I've been fighting with them. So
yes.
H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.